Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm reviewing a new concealer to me. If you watched my recent Ulta haul, you may have seen that I picked this up, and after trying it for a couple days, I feel like it was a really unique formula and that it deserved its own video review. So today we're going to be doing an in-depth sort of look at the new PUR Push-Up 4-in-1 Sculpting Concealer. PUR isn't a brand I've tried a ton from, but this was really interesting to try out, so we're just gonna go ahead and get right into it. Before we start, if you're not already subscribed, I would love to have you, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you find it helpful or enjoyable or both at any point. But let's go ahead and get started on this review. So just to start with what this concealer sort of claims to do, it is $22 first off. It's on Ulta. They sell it in 16 different shades. I have the lightest shade, which is called LN2. So it says that this conceals the look of imperfections, brighten the appearance of skin, and lock in hydration with PUR's Push-Up 4-in-1 Sculpting Concealer, your secret weapon for flawless looking skin. Infused with superfood ingredients, caffeine, and moisture-locking hyaluronic acid, this nourishing all-in-one concealer delivers much needed hydration for a more radiant looking complexion. So it does have some skincare ingredients in it, which I really like, especially for a concealer. The key benefits, it says contour, sculpt, and highlight while brightening the appearance of under eye area with ultimate hydration. The convenient push-up design makes for easy on-the-go application. Choose from 16 versatile skin-loving shades that blend out seamlessly for buildable medium to full coverage. So as I start to talk about my thoughts on this, you're going to see me applying it. Agree with some of the claims of this concealer. You're going to see me putting this under my eyes, and on one eye I'm going to start by blending in with my finger, and then the other eye I didn't do that. I just used a sponge, and I used a little bit of a heavier application on my left eye than I did on my right eye, just to show you sort of the different amounts of coverage. So I do agree that this is a lightweight concealer. The thing that sort of struck me as the most unique thing about this product is its texture. I would describe it as almost like a gel cream. It does feel really hydrating, and it's not like creamy in an emollient way. It's a really interesting formula that I think sits nicely under the eyes. If I let this sit too long, I feel like it does start to sink into those lines. That's why I actually prefer my finger to sort of work it in and then set it immediately. I think it gives pretty good medium coverage. You can build it up to be fuller, but I wouldn't right off the bat call this a full coverage concealer. I think it makes a really good everyday concealer, and I really don't have a ton of complaints with it. You're gonna see me do a wear test throughout the day. This beginning portion of me applying it, I believe, was probably about 2 or 3 p.m. I put this on, and then I'll show you the clip of how it wore. In terms of the wear, I don't feel like a lot changes throughout the day. I do find on this left eye, I get a little bit of sinking into sort of the lines in my eyes, and I've tried this with a couple different powders and it still seems to do that. I don't know why that doesn't happen with my other eye. I think it's just maybe the amount of lines that I have on that eye. But so far I am really enjoying this concealer. The applicator is interesting. It's a doe foot, but it's almost this like round point, and it picks up a lot of product on both sides, just like the Ilia concealer applicator does. So I think it's really nice and disperses a good amount of product. You don't have to dip in. And at first I was a little bit confused about the component that you just like push up and it springs out, because I didn't realize it had that, and I tried to open it and it sort of sprung open. But as they mentioned in the description, that it's easy to use for like on the go wear. I do like that it pops open. You don't have to like screw it on, and I feel like less of the product gets sort of gunked up around the edges. If any of your other concealers you have do that, I know a lot of mine do, and I don't feel like this one has this problem. So overall, I do really enjoy the formula. I enjoy the amount of coverage of this. I wouldn't recommend this for everybody. I feel like it's a very sort of specific to you. What kind of concealer formula do you like? So I'm going to mention a couple formulas that I think if you have tried these concealers and you like them, I think you would really like this one. So the first one I'm going to mention is the HelloFab Bendy Avocado Concealer. This shade range is absolutely adorable, and this is a very thin, hydrating, more skincare-like concealer. So if you have tried this and you like it, I think you would like this one, but this does have more coverage. This is more medium coverage. I feel like the HelloFab one is a lighter coverage. I also think this is similar to the Ilia True Skin Concealer. The True Skin's a little bit thinner, but very similar in the consistency of like, I feel like this is a gel gel cream formula as well. Feels really nice and light and never heavy or sticking to dry patches. Really beautiful everyday concealer formula. If you like something more lightweight, it's not super full coverage, it's not super duper creamy, it kind of just works really well and it's pliable. You know, it goes where you put it. It's not very stubborn, it's not very quick drying. My cons with this product is I do find it sinks into my lines a little bit depending on how I use it. So maybe if you have more fine lines or that's sort of your concern, I don't know if I would necessarily go with this. Again, I feel like more of a personal preference. It depends what works for your eyes. Because for me, I feel like usually most people don't gravitate towards a creamier, like more full coverage concealer to look better when you have fine lines under your eyes. But for me, that always sits better than a super thin concealer because I feel like really thin formulas just sink right in and sort of stay there, whereas a thicker one lays on top of it. So it really depends on what you like. If you find that a thinner consistency really doesn't work for you, I wouldn't recommend this one because it is on the thinner side. My other con is that the shade range, although they have 16 shades, I don't really think they have a lot of different undertones or really a lot of deep shades either. And same with the lighter end of the shade range. This is the lightest shade and I don't feel like it's that light. I mean, I can use this when I'm self-tanned, but if I had my natural skin tone and I wanted to highlight, there's really not a shade that would be light enough for me because this is not a super fair concealer and it was the lightest shade that they had, and the next one up looked pretty deep. So that's something I think they should improve on, and if you are considering getting this, I would keep that in mind and trying to figure out if they do have a shade that would work for you. So now you're gonna see the clip of my end of the wear test, which is going to be around, I would say probably 10 o'clock. I'm going to film the end of it. So this is how it looks by 10. Again, I put it on 2 to 3 p.m. so it's not a super long wear, but I have been testing this over the past couple days to really get a feel for how it wears. I feel like not a lot changes throughout the day, although I do feel like on this left eye it's getting a little like dry looking on the outer corner. I'm not really sure why it's only doing that to one side of my eye, but overall I think the wear is really nicely, and if you find yourself gravitating towards gel cream lighter consistencies, this might be a concealer for you. $22, so it's like high end, but it's not exuberantly expensive for a little tube of concealer. So overall, I have been enjoying this, but I wanted to mention all those little details about it in case you were curious about it, because I feel like it's a really unique formula. I'm glad that they came out with a concealer that's sort of different than a lot that we're seeing right now, which are more full coverage, super creamy, or just like on the other side of the spectrum being extremely light. So I think this is a unique product. I've been getting some use out of it and I was really excited to test it out. I will also mention how it works on spots. It's not really my favorite. I feel like I really have to build up a lot of coverage on spots and it tends to get a little bit cakey. So for me, this is probably a primarily under eye formula, although I had highlighted with it above my forehead and on my nose, and I feel like it works well for that, but just not in any sort of texture or blemishes that I had. So that was all for my PUR Push Up 4-in-1 concealer review. I hope you found this helpful and enjoyable. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already and give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below if there's any new products or old products that you want to see me test on this channel, because I'd love to try things out for you. Let me know your thoughts below. Thank you again for watching and I will see you in my next video. Bye.